Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, your go-to space for deep dives into South Africa's most pressing political developments. Today, we are unpacking a story that has rocked the political landscape and exposed serious fault lines in one of the country's most controversial new parties. We are talking about Floyd Shivambu, yes, that Floyd Shivambu, and his sudden removal from the Umkhonto we Sizwe party's leadership and parliamentary list. Once hailed as one of the most strategic political operators in the country, Shivambu now finds himself on the outside looking in. But true to his revolutionary roots, he's not backing down. Instead, he's invoking the legacy of African liberation hero Amílcar Cabral, defiantly declaring, "No retreat, no surrender." So, what led to this dramatic fall from grace? What does it tell us about the state of the MK party? And is this the beginning of a purge, or the spark of a new ideological battle? Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop your thoughts in the comments section. Let's get into it. 120, Shivambu's ouster, what happened? The political fallout began quietly, but the impact has been seismic. Floyd Shivambu, former deputy president of the EFF and a founding figure within the newly formed MK party, has now been unceremoniously removed from his position as Secretary General. Even more stunning, he's been completely excluded from the party's parliamentary list, effectively cutting off his access to national legislative power just months after helping position MK as a major political force. Sources close to the party suggest that Shivambu's removal was orchestrated by hardliners loyal to Jacob Zuma, who allegedly viewed him as a divisive and overly ambitious figure within the movement. Tensions reportedly escalated over differences in communication strategy, policy emphasis, and control over the party's internal machinery. In short, Shivambu's independent political identity may have clashed too openly with the Zuma-aligned leadership's vision of a tightly controlled, personality-driven movement. The official line from the MK party has been muted, with little to no formal explanation offered to the public. But behind the silence is a storm of speculation, and Shivambu's own response has only added fuel to the fire. 310, the Cabral reference, more than just words. After news of his removal broke, Shivambu released a brief but loaded statement, quoting Amílcar Cabral, the revolutionary thinker and anti-colonial leader from Guinea-Bissau who famously warned liberation movements not to betray their people. The quote, "No retreat, no surrender." That's not a random phrase. In liberation circles, it's a call to arms, a warning that the struggle continues even when the leadership falters. Cabral's legacy is rooted in a commitment to ideological clarity, anti-imperialism, and revolutionary ethics. By invoking him, Shivambu isn't just talking about resistance, he's implicitly accusing the MK party leadership of ideological betrayal. This isn't just a personal fight. Shivambu is trying to frame his ousting as part of a broader struggle over the soul of the MK movement. The subtext is clear: if the MK party is deviating from its stated mission to fight corruption, restore African dignity, and empower the poor, then Shivambu is casting himself as a martyr of that cause. Whether this rhetoric resonates with party members or the broader public remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: this statement was carefully chosen to trigger political reflection, not just emotional reaction. 545, internal divisions in the MK party. Now let's get to the heart of the matter: what's really going on inside the MK party? After bursting onto the scene with Jacob Zuma as its charismatic figurehead, the MK party quickly built momentum by drawing on a mix of ANC nostalgia, Zulu nationalism, and anti-establishment rhetoric. But success has come with internal contradictions. There are growing whispers that the party is split between two major factions. On one side, you have the traditionalists and Zuma Loyalists who see the MK party as a vehicle for restoring what they believe the ANC has lost: authority, discipline, and ethnic loyalty. On the other side are the so-called radicals, which allegedly included Shivambu, who want to push a pan-African, anti-capitalist agenda reminiscent of the early days of the EFF. These two visions cannot peacefully coexist forever. And Shivambu's removal may be the first major casualty in what could become a wider ideological and strategic clash within the party. The concern now is that more purges could follow, especially if dissenting voices continue to challenge Zuma's dominance. And let's not forget, there are other potential time bombs. The MK party still lacks formal internal democratic structures. There's no official policy conference. No elective congress. No open nominations process for candidates. This means power remains concentrated in a small, mostly unelected inner circle. That's not a sustainable model for long-term legitimacy. 7:30. What this means for Shivambu's political future. As for Shivambu himself, what's next? Despite this apparent setback, don't count him out. Shivambu has weathered political storms before. As a former EFF deputy president, he knows how to work the media, mobilize a base, and articulate a sharp ideological message. His reference to Cabral signals that he may be preparing for an ideological comeback, possibly outside the MK party structure. There's even speculation that he could return to the EFF, although that may be complicated by lingering tensions with Julius Malema. Another possibility. Shivambu could launch his own political platform, especially if other disillusioned MK figures join him in rebellion. Whatever the path, Shivambu still has political capital. His credibility with younger, more radical voters, particularly in urban centers, is still intact. His command of political language, historical references, and economic analysis gives him an edge in public discourse. He's not your average party loyalist, he's a political brand in his own right. But the question is, can he leverage that brand into real power again? Or will his defiance be remembered as a footnote in the internal decay of the MK party? 8:45, Final thoughts. Floyd Shivambu's removal from the MK party's inner circle is more than just a personnel change, it's a warning sign that deep ideological fault lines are threatening to tear the party apart from within. Whether you admire or distrust Shivambu, his departure points to a growing problem in South African politics, the cult of personality over democratic process. The MK party is still young, still forming, and still facing the test of whether it can become a serious long-term political force or fade into the chaos of infighting and authoritarian control. Shivambu's ousting may be the first clear sign that a storm is brewing, and that the revolutionary energy behind the MK party is beginning to eat itself. As always, let us know what you think. Was Shivambu wrong to challenge Zuma's grip? Or is he the last ideological voice in a party that's already lost its way? And what does this say about the future of populist politics in South Africa? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like the video if you found it informative, and make sure you subscribe for more in-depth political commentary. Thanks for watching, and as always, see you next time.